Hey there, I'm Meg. I'm a registered dietitian nutritionist, and this is Dishing Nutrition. Today we're going to talk about something really important, which is mental health and how our nutrition choices can help support our mental health. This is something I feel is extremely relevant to talk about right now, especially after this difficult year that so many of us have had. And some of the ways in which we can make some lifestyle tweaks can really best support our brain function and our mood. Now, with that being said, this doesn't mean that nutrition is something that will cure any mental health disorders. It's simply something, though, that can give your body a leg up. Our brain, just like any other organ in our body, functions best when it's given the nutrients that it needs. And so let's talk about some of those nutrients that best support our brain function and the foods that you can get these nutrients from. The first vitamin that I want to talk about is vitamin D. This is known as the sunshine vitamin because one of the ways which we can get this vitamin is through the sun. And that is helpful during the summertime. However, during the winter, it can be a little bit more tricky, especially if you live in a northern climate where you're not getting much sunlight during that time of year. So it's also important to be able to get this vitamin through our food. One of the reasons why this is so important for mental health is because vitamin D has been shown to help regulate mood levels and also increase serotonin levels in the brain, which is really important for our happiness. Some foods where you can find vitamin D include things like fatty fish, so salmon or mackerel or sardines, or fortified foods like milk products, milk alternatives, and orange juices. It's something that is a little bit more tricky to find in naturally occurring foods, which is also why supplementing vitamin D is so common and can be really beneficial. So if you feel that you're not getting enough vitamin D from your food, definitely speak with a doctor or a dietitian about going on a supplement. The next nutrient that I want to talk about is omega-3. This is something that is so essential for our overall brain health. It's something that can improve our memory and our cognition, and it also improves the communication between our brain cells as well as interacts with mood-related molecules in the brain. So it's safe to say this is one of the most important nutrients in overall brain health. Some of the best dietary sources of omega-3 include things like fatty fish, similar to that of vitamin D, so salmon and mackerel and sardines, and there's other animal-based sources like eggs that typically have a good amount of omega-3 as well. There are plant-based sources where you can find omega-3s as well. This includes things like walnuts or chia seeds or ground up flax seeds. However, I think it's also important to note that this plant-based form of omega-3 is not absorbed as easily in our body. So if you are getting your source of omega-3 primarily through plants, it's important to bump up your intake of those plant-based sources a little bit more to make sure you're meeting your needs. The next nutrient I want to highlight is magnesium. This is something that is incredibly important because it facilitates the formation of certain neurotransmitters, and magnesium is something that can help calm down our nervous system. One of the reasons why I want to highlight this nutrient is because upwards of 80% of Americans are not getting enough magnesium through their diet. And there's a lot of different reasons for this, but the good news is magnesium is found in a lot of different food sources. So simple tweaks can really bump up your intake. Some of the best sources of magnesium include things like seeds and nuts. So sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, and almonds in particular are great sources. There are also lots of other sources like spinach and black beans and avocado. So typically by adding more whole foods and whole grains into your diet, you're going to be increasing your magnesium intake naturally. Speaking of whole foods, I want to highlight the importance of getting most of your nutrition from whole food sources. Western diets, which are typically loaded with more sugar, more processed foods, and less vitamins and minerals, have been associated with increased symptoms of anxiety and depression. And diets that include a lot more whole food sources, like a traditional Japanese diet or a Mediterranean diet, have been associated with lower symptoms of anxiety and depression. Cutting out some of those less healthy options from our diet can really help give our mind and our body a leg up when it comes to dealing with mood-related issues. With just a few simple dietary tweaks, it's really amazing how this could potentially improve our mind, our cognition, and our overall mood. So I hope you find some of these tips helpful, and if you do end up trying any of these, please let me know in the comments down below. Until next time, thank you, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!